Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right, what up, everyone? Happy 4th of July, y'all. Hope you're all having a safe, cool, wonderful 4th of July out there. Happy 4th of July weekend. About to post up and watch this JD Vance speech that he gave from USS Kearsarge in New York Harbor, New York. So let's see what this is all about. All right, here we go. Oh, God. Man. JD Vance needs to realize that Creedence Clearwater does not like him.
How we doing? Hoorah! Semper Fi! And happy birthday to all the sailors and the Marines and all the service members of this incredible ship. Please, please, ladies and gentlemen, take a seat. You know, I know it's 100 degrees out here, but my speechwriters wrote me a nice 9-hour address, so it's going to be a long day. A long day. But let me start by saying, first of all, thank you for being here on this incredibly historic occasion. I have to give a shout out to Admiral Caudle and, of course, Acting Secretary Cal, two great Americans. Thank you for your leadership and for everything you've done to prepare us for this incredible celebration today. And I also, of course, got to give thank you, but also special greetings from the President of the United States for reviving this incredibly proud naval tradition as we celebrate 250 years of American daring and 250 years of American naval excellence. Today, we celebrate 250 years of America, facing the future without fear. We celebrate 250 years of proving what a free people can achieve by the providence of our almighty Creator. I want to welcome the incredible sailors who are with us today, all the Marines, the Coasties, and countless others from all of our forces who serve our nation and do so proudly. And I especially want to thank and welcome our wounded warriors and Gold Star families, many of New York's finest police officers and bravest firefighters, and of course we have a number of local leaders from across this tri-state area. I'm honored to welcome the dozens of Navy chiefs and other guests from other countries around the world who represent the vessels joining us in today's review. And to the Americans who are watching back home, we have over 50 countries from all over the world who chose to send fighters or naval vessels here to honor our country. And we say from the bottom of our hearts, we are grateful for our friends, grateful for our allies on this special anniversary. It is a very American thing to ring in 250 years of American history by parading our naval and Air Force might for the world to see. But I can't help but consider that 250 years ago, the waters of New York Harbor looked very, very different. While the Continental Congress met in Philadelphia to ratify the Declaration of Independence, General Washington was right here in Manhattan, peering out on this beautiful land and beautiful sea. His attention was fixed on the horizon, watching for sails of the most powerful navy on earth. 1 week before, the British had begun landing troops on Staten Island, and they had landed 32,000 in just over 6 weeks. One colonist still in the city recounted it seemed as if all of London was afloat and heading to the new nation. War was coming, and everyone knew it. By July of 1776, 80% of New York's population had emptied out in anticipation of the coming violence. And that brings us back to our great General Washington. He knew the battles to come would be bruising and would demand much of his men. But they needed to know, through hot summers and cold winters, exactly what they were being asked to fight for. And so, just a few days after the Declaration of Independence was signed, George Washington read aloud the words of the incredible Declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Even today, 250 years to the day later, these words command a tremendous power over us as Americans. For 250 years, they have stirred our hearts and they've reminded us of who we are as a people. But to Washington's soldiers, to the people to whom they were first read, think about this, they were entirely new. What has become standard American parlance, they had never heard those words before. And I think it's something striking to reflect on, that in 2026, the Declaration was written with the assumption that its audience would immediately grasp its words. Though they had never heard it, they would know exactly what it meant. It wasn't written for historians. It wasn't written for academics. It wasn't written for the generations to come. It was written for the people of this fledgling country. It was written for the soldiers who would fight to turn those words into a new system of government. As a document, it does not handhold its readers. Its citizenship at a very hard level. It does not pause to explain who this Creator is. It doesn't explain what the equality of men means. It doesn't try to go into details about the consent of the governed. It simply declares these truths to be self-evident. 250 years later, it's worth asking, self-evident to whom? If the Declaration proclaims truths the founders believed to all mankind, yes. But it says those truths in language intended to be familiar specifically to the American nation that it was authored to, authored by, and authored for. It was, as Jefferson put it later in his own life, an expression of the American mind. A document whose purpose wasn't, quote, to find out new principles or new arguments, but to place before mankind the common sense of the subject, the common sense of the American people. That people had been generations in the making. 1776 was not an accident. The patriots of that era understood themselves to be heirs to an older civilization who would carry it forward. Now, they shared with Great Britain the same language, the same God, the same system of common law. They even read many of the same books and observed many of the same customs. They shared the same understanding of justice and public life. George Washington's boyhood offers a small but revealing example. When he was 13 years old, he copied down more than 100 entries from a tiny little book called The Rules of Civility and Decent Behavior. It was not an American work, but it was first published in London more than a century before George Washington was born. Yet the America that formed Washington demanded qualities that no book, no manual could teach. Before General Washington commanded an army, he spent his 20s surveying America's wild interior, saving up money, learning self-reliance on a continent that rewarded initiative more than pedigree. It didn't care if you were a nobleman, it cared what you could do. Now, our society at the time reinforced the habits Washington learned in the wilderness. Frontier life rewarded resourcefulness, wilderness, while America's colonial assemblies taught citizens to govern their own affairs. It taught citizens to be self-governing human beings. Churches at the time, especially those who were touched by the Great Awakening, reminded congregants that no earthly hierarchy outweighed the equal dignity of every human soul before its creator. All of that came together. And so it was no surprise that when Washington's soldiers first heard the Declaration 250 years ago, they understood precisely what it meant. They understood the meaning that was conveyed. It was seismic, but it was their birthright as citizens of this new republic. The words might have been new, but they expressed a feeling, something that already lived in the heart of every single American patriot. And I believe those words still live in.
Hey, what's up, Donna? Happy 4th of July. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Donald Trump needs to be held accountable for all his crimes against humanity. But what's up, everyone? Happy 4th of July out there. Hope you're all having a safe 4th of July. We're watching this speech that JD Vance gave earlier today in New York. There's probably maybe 15 minutes left or so. So we'll ride this out. And then after this, there was a lot of veterans got together in Philadelphia. So we'll check that out after this.
Of every single American patriot today. And for 7 long years, they fought for that birthright. It wasn't easy. On some days, it was hotter.
What do you mean? He bombed a kid's school with 300 schools with 300 kids in the school. He's bombing innocent fishermen out of the waters. He's kidnapping people off the streets, throwing them in concentration camps and feeding them maggots, racially profiling people. He's corrupt as all hell too. He's robbing the American people blind. He's looting the country. He's causing terrorism all across the country.
Was today, as hard as that is to believe. Many suffered and died for that dream and died for those principles. But by the grace of Almighty God, they secured for us a free, a proud, and an independent republic that endures, and doesn't just endure, but thrives to this very day. As Washington traded in the uniform for the presidency, he remained preoccupied with the physical land that had shaped him. He imagined wagons crossing mountains, paths out of the Alleghenies and the Appalachians, and canals connecting the Potomac and the Ohio River to its western valleys. Our first president would not live long enough to see that vision of a continent connected. He would not live to see it to completion. But the rivers he surveyed in his youth carried on westward without him. They carried settlers and new riches and cities waiting to be built. And eventually, they carried a 13-year-old boy by the name of James Buchanan Eads. In the fall of 1833, Eads and his family, like many Americans, moved west to the nation's growing frontier, the land of opportunity. And as their steamboat approached St. Louis, its boiler exploded, throwing him into the turbulent waters of the Mississippi. The family lost everything, every earthly possession, and the river nearly killed young Eads. From that moment on, he vowed not to be a slave to that mighty river, but to make it his own. He received no formal education, but to support his family, he sold apples on the St. Louis riverfront, captivated by the bustle and frontier of boomtown St. Louis. At 16, he took a job on the water, and not long after, he conceived of an idea that most engineers at the time, they thought it was crazy. They thought it was insane. Sunken ships and other treasures lay scattered along the bottom of the Mississippi. No business.
Yeah, exactly. Protect the country against communism. Deport all the MAGA cult members back to Jonestown, because they're the real communists over there. I mean, their orange daddy rolled out the red carpet for Putin. So that means all the MAGA cult members are commie lovers.
in the world existed to salvage them, to take that buried treasure on the bottom of the mighty Mississippi and bring it to work for people. Unlike the more peaceful streams out east.
Oh yeah, that's what they do for a living, is just lie. JD Vance, he has never, like, every time his mouth moves is just nothing but lies.
The river's strong currents and turbid water.
But I mean, obviously right now he's just giving some historical, saying some stories from history. But whenever he's like on a press conference, rest assured he's just telling lies. He's just another orange man bootlicker.
Most insisted that ordinary.
He's like Smithers from The Simpsons, like what Smithers was to Mr. Burns. That's what JD Vance is. He's Smithers.
Driving in the mighty Mississippi was impossible. You could not do what Eads proposed that we do. But he disagreed. And so he did what every American does when they're told they can't do something. He went out and did it anyway, and he did it himself. He bought a 40-gallon whiskey barrel, fixed it to a diving bell, and climbed in, and down he went all by himself. The riverbed was pitch black, the current pulling his feet every which way. Sand swirled around him like a dense snowstorm, he later recalled. But he located his target, a large hunk of lead, tied on the cable, and came back to the surface. Eads went on to become one of the nation's greatest civil engineers. He built the very first bridge spanning the Mississippi River south of its confluence with the Missouri. An impressive feat for a man who'd never built a bridge before. The people who told him, you can't build the most difficult bridge because you've never built a bridge before, he said, yes, I can, because I'm an American and I'm going to do it myself. It was the first on the planet, that bridge, to be made of steel. And residents of St. Louis still use that bridge to this very day, nearly 200 years later. That is American ingenuity and American greatness. At the river's mouth in Louisiana, Eads raised jetties that helped calm its violent flooding to prevent the buildup of silt. And by doing so, he transformed New Orleans from the 9th largest port in the United States to the 2nd most powerful port in the world, rivaling only the city that stands behind us. But Eads had already faced a still greater test, because as the Civil War broke out, the government summoned him to Washington for his help building the ironclads, which the United States Navy would seize the Mississippi with. It was no matter that Eads had never built a gunboat in his life. He had never built a gunboat ever. Instead, he completed 700 of them in 100 days. It's unbelievable. The river ships that Eads built were so strong that the Navy deployed them into the ocean to secure the Gulf. They served their purpose. They defended the Mississippi. And in doing so, they helped preserve our Union. And so it kept growing. And of course, the American frontier made way to farms and factories stretching further and further west. River towns became great cities. Railroads reached the Pacific. Steel mills rose where once wilderness had stood. The American mind widened, and the Republican whose independence Washington won, that James Eads had helped sew together, grew into the most powerful industrial powerhouse in the history of humanity. For other nations, growing industry brought dispossession before it did prosperity. In the old world, the one our ancestors had left behind, the Industrial Revolution threw society into chaos. And into that chaos rushed vacuums and ideologies that answered the dignity of man with labor camps and killing fields. Where the old world led to communism and fascism, the Americans recognized that at root, they were a denial of everything that Washington and Jefferson had read to his men 250 years ago. The free world needed to win. But in order for the free world to beat communism and fascism, it had to outproduce them. And as in every conflict before, America looked to her sailors for help. and to the builders who made sure those sailors had the very best ships to sail on. Among them was a man that we know as Henry Kaiser. Like Eads, Kaiser had grown up with very little. The son of German immigrants, he dropped out of school at 13 to work the stockroom at a dry goods store in Utica, making $1.50 a week and commuting 4 miles each way on foot. Eventually, he moved to Spokane for better job opportunities, setting his sights on starting his own company. Now, he walked into a bank with no business, no workforce, and no history, just a single proposed contract and what the banker would later describe as sheer audacity. He walked out with a $25,000 loan. And with his workers, he erected the Hoover Dam and hundreds of miles of highway across the West. Everywhere he went, he organized ordinary Americans to build extraordinary things. And everywhere he went, he believed their welfare and the welfare of the enterprise that he was building went hand in hand. Kaiser pioneered health coverage at his construction sites. That's why we know the name of Kaiser, because he understood that men working in dangerous conditions, they deserve to see a doctor. He saw his workers as partners, and he walked the walk long before it was fashionable to do so. Where some say that America's story is one of the dispossessed struggling against the powerful, Kaiser shows that America's greatness is built by cooperation between all of our citizens from every single walk of American life. Now, that cooperation was important, but it became profoundly important the day after Pearl Harbor. The United States Navy at the time needed ships bigger and better and faster than anyone thought they could be built. We didn't have the biggest Navy in the world, but we needed one, and we needed one fast. So Kaiser did what Americans always do when confronted with the impossible. He put it on his shoulders and said, let's go do it. Kaiser had never made a ship in his life, but that wasn't going to stop him. First, he built shipyards all up and down the Pacific coast. Then he filled them with American workers, 250,000 of them. Farm boys from Iowa, miners from Appalachia, mothers from Detroit who had never held a welding torch. Together they launched nearly 15,000 Liberty ships, vessels that carried American cargo and sailors across 2 oceans. His Richmond yard built one of them, the SS Robert E. Peary, in an astonishing 4 days and 15 hours. The shipbuilders Kaiser hired, they weren't just a means to an end, they were his partners. Kaiser looked at his workers and saw people, Americans who got sick, who had families to raise, who showed up in Richmond and Portland with little more than a hat in their hand, but who had amazing potential. He saw the potential of normal Americans when unshackled from destitution. And he saw them not just as mouths to feed or as workers to pay. He saw them as fellow citizens who could build amazing things. So he built housing near these shipyards and nursery schools to help mothers join the war effort. He extended the health plan he had started at his dams to every worker in every yard, opening it to the public after the U.S. won World War II. And though separated by generations, I tell the story of these 3 men because Kaiser and Eads and Washington, they were exactly the kind of men that Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence for. Kaiser was an American. He looked at what needed doing and he did it. And he trusted the men and women around them to do the same, knowing that he could only do his job if they did theirs too. Our Declaration of Independence may have spoken to universal human truths and broadly shared human desires. Of course it does. But it was a document written by and for a particular kind of people, the American people. From Jenna Washington to James Buchanan Eads, from Henry Kaiser, one of America's great shipbuilders, to the sailors standing here today. And by the way, what you folks watching at home on TV may not realize is that everything that you saw, everything that you see today was destroyed last night in a storm, but these great sailors rebuilt it in 12 hours so that you all could be here, so that we could have this amazing procession, and so we could celebrate our 250th birthday in style. All of us, connected through the generations, rich and poor of every job, we are a people formed by generations of self-governance and personal industry. We are formed by Frontier Assembly Hall and congregation, by River Valley and prairie and factory floor. We are formed by the conviction that we are bound to one another, not only by bloodline or creed alone, but by a common character, a shared fate, a shared future. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to address what we hear from some loud voices today, because as much as all of us, whether we're Democrat or Republican, whatever our political persuasion, all of us are celebrating. But you will hear a couple small but loud voices today speak obsessively not of our national greatness, but of our national imperfections.
That was Donald Trump last night with his horrible speech. That was him. That was the guy right there, JD Vance. That was speaking a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
They will speak of the powerless and the dispossessed. They will tell you that America is just another country where the weak struggle against the strong. And if they acknowledge that there is anything to be proud of in our history, they'll say it's the fact that sometimes the powerless have won a zero-sum battle. They're wrong. They'll talk about America's sins with the anger and zeal of a brimstone preacher, but without any of the grace or forgiveness that must be present in the Christian faith. These people misunderstand the essence of America, from Thomas Jefferson to Henry Kaiser. They misunderstand that we all have moments of great power despite those very real imperfections. That there are victims and heroes who live inside of each of us, from the most ambitious leaders and builders to steel welders like my grandfather. People who had their own role to play in turning this dangerous wilderness into the proudest civilization in history. So what I'd ask you to do, my fellow Americans, on our 250th birthday, is to reject the two-dimensional view of your fellow citizens and reject the two-dimensional
Man, this guy makes Dick Cheney look like a choir boy.
View of your country. Reject that America is a place for zero-sum thinking, because it is not. Our history is one of people carving a great civilization out of the wilderness. Reject the view of your nation that sees only its sins, but not its grace and its greatness. Everything that we have done as a country, we have done together. Not as citizens divided against each other, but as a common people working towards a common future.
Hey, what's up, Nikolai? What's up, everyone? What's up, David? What's up, Hans Gruber? That's a cool name, Hans Gruber, like from the movie Die Hard. I love that movie. What's up, Hassan? What's up, Angel? What's up, David? I hope you're all having a good, safe, and cool 4th of July. You know, we got freedom of speech in this chat, so appreciate everyone's opinions, but, you know, let's try to keep it a little civil. I mean, everyone's doing a good job, you know, but regardless, you know, it's nice to interact with everyone out there. And appreciate everyone sharing your opinions and saying what's up.
Our independence, we were led by General Washington to liberty and greatness, but marching ahead of him were thousands of boys from all over the new nation who gave Washington's military genius its foundation and its firepower. When we saved the world in World War II from tyranny in the 20th century, of course we needed great military leadership and tactical genius from our generals, but we also needed Rosie the Riveter, Iowa farm girls who built the machinery of war, and the sweethearts they sent to a world away to storm the beaches at Normandy. When we went to the moon, of course our great astronauts flew the rockets, and our great men of science and engineering built them. but there were clerks and janitors and welders like my grandfather who each played their distinctive American part. All of us have a part. All of us had our part, our role to play in creating 250 years of a proud American story. And all of us will need to do our part to create the next 250 years of American greatness. So I say to all my fellow Americans, I'm proud of you. Happy birthday, and happy birthday to our great nation. Today, my friends, we celebrate, and tomorrow we get back to work. God bless you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so that was a speech that JD Vance did today. So let's go check out this. Let's go see what happened in Philadelphia. This is from Status Coop News, guys. So it looks like they were in Philadelphia. Let me see if I can find it. And there's a lot of veterans that got together in protest of Trump's regime, the cabal, the Orange Man cabal, because they're so incompetent. They all got to get impeached, removed, and imprisoned. Got to make the country great again, guys. So go vote. Keep the blue wave tsunami going. Vote out all those MAGA meat-riding politicians. All right, let's go. Where can I find it at? I saw it earlier. Maybe it's in here or something. Let's see. No. Or you know what? I'll just go to the channel. Let's see. All right. So this is Status Coop News. Looks like they had some good footage. Oh, here it is. All right, so this is in Philadelphia today. It's Veterans Against Trump's Fascism protest. So these are all the veterans getting together and protesting Trump's evil ways.
Military families, you ready me? All right, y'all ready to be sharp as hell about this? That's my best. All right, Unit 1 is going to be up here by this tree. Let me see your flag, Katie. That is Unit 1. If you are part of our action, meaning you are holding a banner, you are speaking, you are the MC, you are going to Unit 1. Go there now. If you are yellow and you are down to be in the front, which at this action is the riskiest place, but not very risky, go to Unit 1. If you are active duty...
All right, everyone, good morning. Welcome in. Welcome, Status Quo viewers and Midas Touch viewers. We are live here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the birthplace of the United States of America. This is a action, a rally, a protest. Hundreds of veterans are here this morning. This is, let me see what park this is. I believe it's Washington Park. Let me just get okay, yeah, this is Washington Square in Philadelphia. I guess Washington Square Park in Philadelphia, not in New York City. So again, we are live, Philadelphia. Smash the like button, share this on stream. Again, hundreds of veterans are out here gathered to march through the streets of Philadelphia. There's going to be some speakers. We'll get some interviews. It is another hot day. Thankfully, we are under the stage right now. But that's temporary because they are going to be marching. Now there's another group coming in, marching in here.
great to see your beautiful faces. We're gonna get moving shortly. We got drummers, we got our voices, we got our feet. All of these are instruments for us to create the harmonies of the future, the harmonies of love. But to use any of these instruments, we need our breath. We need our breath. Please take care of yourself today. It's hot. Drink your water. Go in the shade. But it's all about the breath. And our breath is what we share in common with every person out here. We're all breathing the same air. We live on the same planet Earth. And that's what's being threatened. So let's take some deep breaths. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. And we breathe the breath, not just of ourselves, not just of our present selves, but of our ancestors, the past, and of our children, the future. So please, find something that grounds you in this moment. One of my ancestors is William Still, and he was a father of the Underground Railroad with Harriet Tubman. He's got a house where they would meet and where black people would become free and they would risk their lives to come to this office, to this house, so that they could live in Philadelphia, so they could make it farther north. And that's the path that we're carrying, right? We're all on a path here today. We're taking over the streets. That's a path that leads us to our destiny, to a future where we all have food and housing, and children have schools with teachers that love them. Woo! So if you could please put your hand over your heart. Feel your heartbeat. Because your blood carries oxygen from your breath to your heart that glows with love. And as we march, we all have to be vigilant. We're all leaders here today. We're the leaders that we need. So if you see someone who maybe they got their head down, get them some water. If you see that you're leaving somebody behind, slow down. Slow down. We've got all the time we need. And so we're going to sing this song. I'm going to start, and we're just going to carry it on. But this is thinking about our futures. Not just for ourselves in 10 years, not just for our children, but for the next 250 years. That's right, for the next 250 years. Okay, the song goes like this. We are standing for our futures. We are healing what is wrong. We are standing for our future, and together we are strong. We are standing for our future. We are healing what is wrong. We are standing for our future, and together we are strong. Look. We are standing for our future. We are healing what is wrong.
There was a lot of people there. So this was earlier today. This is Status Scoop News. They're about to start marching. Yeah, I skimmed through this and I was like, oh, all right, this is worth watching. So this is like the beginning of it. It's like 2 hours long, but I'm gonna watch the whole thing. So everyone's more than welcome to hang out and share your opinions or whatnot. But this happened earlier today in Philadelphia. This is Status Scoop News, and they're all about to start marching, and everyone's gonna start speaking. So it's gonna get good. And I hope you're all having a good, safe, and 4th of July out there. Happy 4th of July. Happy birthday, USA.
Here we go.
Incredible, y'all. How are you feeling that breath in your body? Are you ready to move like free people?
Yeah!
To free people towards a freer future? Like we said, for our ancestors, for this present in our communities that are with us and our communities that are not. Our loved ones who are locked up behind the walls, our loved ones who are afraid to come out of their homes because of unlawful, unjust, and cruel practices by ICE. Abolish ICE, let's hear it. Abolish ICE, let me hear it. Let's go, let's go. We're in these streets where our loved ones are laborers throughout history. on stolen land, in spaces built with stolen labor, over generations and decades. We're here for the workers of the world. Make some noise if you're here for workers today. And for the labor that is often erased, for the mothers and caregivers, the people who are raising children and raising freedom fighters, the ones who are doing the care work that goes under-recognized and undervalued. Make some noise if you're here for those workers today too. We make some noise for our healers. We make some noise for the ones who provide care, the ones who offer us love and support. Who show us that nurturance is actually the vision forward, that sustainability is the only way forward. Make some noise for the healers and the caretakers. And make some noise for the freedom fighters. For the political prisoners, for the ones who have risked to break down walls, kill for their people. Freedom fighters all over the world, not just here on Turtle Island. For our members who have spoken out against us, who have spoken out against imperialism, who have been charged with 100 years for a zine. Right? Make some noise for the ones who have been stolen from us by corruption, by crookedness, by violence. Make some noise. Take heart. Take breath for those who have lost their time, who have lost their connections to their family, who are languishing behind the walls, who have lost, who have given their lives. For us, for our freedom, for true liberation. Make some noise for the freedom fighters. For all political...
Man, this lady's awesome right here. She's got cool hair, and she's got a strong message. I like this lady right here.
And make some noise for the ones who participate in these systems and wake up to the illusions of separateness and turn from them, reject them, and choose each other. Like our veterans against fascism. Make some noise. Make some noise for the ones who choose each other. And make some noise now for the future we know is possible when we choose each other. For the ones yet to be born. For the ones yet to cross the borders, we together will break down. For the children who deserve a livable planet, dignity, liberty, justice, and I'm not talking about the liberty they're talking about in the Independence Hall over there. I'm talking about true freedom, I'm talking about liberation. If you're here, for the ones who have yet to come, make some noise. Y'all, we are ready to move. Are y'all ready to move? You've been singing, you've been hugging each other, you've been checking in, you're ready to throw down and show Philadelphia exactly who we are. The city of brotherly love, sisterly affection, and sibling rivalry. We will fight. We will fight for one another. And we will demonstrate to the world that we're talking about liberation, we're talking about liberty. We're celebrating independence. It's independence from billionaires, independence from fascists, independence from anyone who would limit us, who would lock us up, who would do us harm. We're going to free ourselves and free each other. So if you're ready to declare that kind of interdependence, that kind of connection to one another, make some noise. Now we know why we're here. We're going to have a moment. We've got some important safety information we want to relay to y'all. Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe? I know some of y'all are visiting from out of town. You might not be used to Philadelphia. We're here for you, but we just got to show you how we do it. Who keeps us safe? That's right, you got no business having these places back here. They sure won't do it. But we're going to have an announcement right now about how we're going to keep each other safe, some safety information. So please, if you can hear the sound of my voice, make sure that information is getting sent back through the crowd. We got a standard mic check one. There's a whole lot of us here today, yes? Y'all ready? All right, give it up for the combat and some safety information.
Hi everybody, I'm Sophie. I am one of your medic and care team folks on the ground today. I am so glad to be here with all of you. Make some noise for just being here, taking care of each other, showing up together. Amazing. Okay, so we are marching today on one of the hottest days of the year. We have to take care of each other. We have many volunteer teams on the ground today to help you. Our care team is marching alongside of you. They are wearing orange armbands, blue duct tape, and or blue bandanas. They are here to support you. They've got water wagons or know where the water wagons are. The orange folks are going to be directing traffic to help keep us safe. Reach out to somebody if you need us. Medics are marked with red crosses. If you or someone next to you is experiencing a medical emergency, including heat-related medical emergency, please call out medic and or cross your hands over your head in an X so we can visually spot you. You can also let one of the other care team members know, and they have easy access to us. So if you see medic team attempting to care. We are here practicing our First Amendment right. We're assembling peacefully, but the cops can sometimes be pushy even so. If you are concerned with police aggression, please find a safety team member. Don't handle it yourself. Safety team, again, is marked with the orange bandanas. We will send over legal observers and safety to handle it for you. It is not your job to deal with that. Tap in a safety member. They are trained to help with that situation. This is highly unlikely, but if we are faced with any aggression, we're going to assess the situation with support from our safety team. Our safety team is who's going to make that call. They're going to direct us to lock arms and hold the line against state forces to make sure that everyone gets to safety. If you feel moved to join them in that line, please feel free to do so. Listen to the folks with the orange bandanas. They're going to make sure that you know what to do. If you don't feel moved, that is totally okay. We take care of each other. Everyone has a role. There are a few social media influencers who like to agitate folks into a fight. They are obsessed with us.
Yes, they are.
Please ignore them. Don't give them any attention. What they want is your attention. Anything you say to them is giving them what they want. If you have people with little microphones that don't deserve your energy, and any energy you give them helps monetize what they're doing. Again, the thing that they want from you is to talk to you. Do not give them that. Keep your ears open for any information from our safety team members. We're going to be giving y'all directions as we go throughout the march. And so we want to make sure that you can hear us. If you do have to leave early or when you leave, please do so with a buddy. We are always safest together. Last but not least, it's hot outside today, people. Please hydrate. Over at the care tents, the blue tents in the middle of the park, you will find fruit, you will find electrolytes, you will find water bottles, you will find my personal favorite, cold, wet rags. They are cold, they are wet. You can put them on your neck. It's going to feel so good. It's going to help prevent heat stroke. The thing that you can do that will help our medic and our care teams most is stay hydrated and prevent heat illness, because we have so many more of you than there are of us, and we need your help to keep everybody safe by using our heat stroke prevention devices that we've got, again, at the blue care tent. You'll also find folks walking around, but if you can come to us, that makes our day even a little bit easier. We really appreciate you all. Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe?
Give it up to the comrade. Give it up to our safety and care team. Give it up for the kind of love and care that really shows us what protection looks like, right? We've got a will to win, and that means checking in on our neighbor. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, we go together. So we make sure that we're all moving together. Everybody, I'd love for you to take 10 seconds. Maybe you came here with a friend, maybe you came here with a future friend, but I want you to turn to the people next to you. Introduce yourself. Why are you here? How'd you get here? Who are you with? We have a good movement, friends. So I would love for you to just take a second and connect. Maybe check in. Is there anything I can help you remember today? Are you as bad at drinking water? The sun rises. Shall I remind you? Right? You want to keep eyes on each other, friends. Because once again, we know that the folks who are pretending to serve and protect are here to make sure that property doesn't get damaged, right? We see what they do in our Black and brown communities. We see what they do to kids when FIFA's in town or otherwise, right? Not 3 weeks ago, during Pride, the Philadelphia Police Department, 6 officers on queer and trans community members in the neighborhood. We know what safety to them looks like. It's the erasure of Black and brown and queer and trans people, right? We've seen what happens, and it's not dissimilar to Rizzo when the demand for the National Guard to stomp on people exercising their rights to peacefully assemble and protest. But that was his interest and his prerogative. We know what Cheryl Parker called for. So we've got to take care of each other. So take a few more minutes, connect. What's your friend's favorite color? Why did they show up? Get to know each other. And then we're going to do a little bit more singing. I see some beautiful signage here. It's making my heart sing. End the wars at home and abroad. Period. We know the forces antagonizing black youth in Philadelphia are the same forces antagonizing Palestinian freedom fighters. It's the same. Climate action now. There's no planet B. This is the hottest July on record. You can't tell me this is the summers of our youth, my friends. We've got work to do. And how are we going to throw a $15 million 4th of July party that's probably going to be canceled if we can't handle a $1.5 million grant for working artists in Philadelphia year-round? We're talking about scarcity and austerity, and we're propping up the powers that be in their pageants to themselves. All those resources need to be rededicated to our communities, yes? So keep talking amongst each other about why you're here. I see our beautiful mariposa art in homage to our incredible immigrants, our undocumented folks. We know we need to abolish borders as much as we need to abolish ICE. So we're here carrying those ones who are locked up, the ones who've been disappeared from us. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm here for my trans youth today. I'm here for the youngins who need to be reminded that not only can they play sports with whoever the hell they want, they can do whatever they want. They can be whoever they want. We don't get to tell them who we know they are. We don't get to erase and legislate them away. We may not see the benefits, the fruits of our labor, but we have to fight as if it's already here for them so that they might see that. 30 more seconds, and then I want you to say, what are you going to do tomorrow? Because it's all well and good to show up and move in the streets and feel a little sexy when you're yelling at a dumb cop, or that guy in his sad, American flag cowboy hat. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why they make those. But I want you to tell the person next to you what you're going to do after today, how you're going to keep showing up after today. So take 7 seconds to do that. If you don't know yet, work it out with your buddy. After today.
Again, guys, smash the like button, share this live stream. There are hundreds of veterans.
I mean, I don't agree with Trump's immigration tactics at all, but the lady that was speaking right now, she was claiming she wants to abolish borders, which I don't think that would be a good move for the country.
Gathered here today in Washington Square Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'll just say something and I listen this.
What up, everyone? Happy 4th of July. Just hanging out, having a little YouTubeville watch party, checking out this this kind of protest, march / rally that happened earlier today in Philadelphia. We're watching footage from Status Coop News, so go subscribe to their channel. They got good footage. About to smoke a bong load right now, making some coffee. Let's get these fireworks started. Shit, the bowl was kind of clogged. Still got a good rip though.
Yes, yeah, this is what, guys. So we have Rick here. You guys know Rick. Spoke about why it was important to be out here on the 250th birthday of this country. Okay.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
It's not lost on me that
Hey, this guy. I forget his name, but he has a channel. He's the Antifa. He's the Antifa general. LOL. Yeah, I think his channel's called Antifa General. Yeah, this guy's cool right here.
Yes. Yeah, this is what. Hi guys. So we have Rick here. You guys know Rick. Talk about why it was important to be out here on the 250th birthday of this country.
Okay. So it's not lost on me that 250 years ago, the forefathers of this country signed the Declaration of Independence, while my ancestors were still considered three-fifths human. So you can see right now with everything that's happening in the country, fascists are out ahead. Billionaires are funding wars. Open corruption. Blatant racism. Our civil rights are being rolled back. Now, more than ever, veterans take to the streets. Get out here and resist these fascists. They want you scared. They're out here handing out fucking 30-year sentences for having your own material against this fascist regime. They're trying to outlaw being anti-fascist. How fucking un-American is that? And that's why it's our duty to stand here and face these fucking demons down. Just like we resisted the chains of slavery, just like we outlived fucking Jim Crow and this first Civil War, we will outlive these fascists. What you're watching here in America is the last dying gasp of white supremacy. And it is our duty to stand up and crush that shit into the dirt. That is our duty to be out here. If you ever wore that uniform, get off your ass and get out here. Resist wherever you can. In any ways you can, resist these demons. And no matter whether it takes 10 months or 10 years, we must be absolutely relentless in our fight against the white delusion of white supremacy.
This is a statement that belong to the abolition of borders and the abolition of ICE.
All right, guys, I want to get to the front of the march, I guess, to get a start. Begin. We will get to some more interviews as the day goes on. I'll try and grab Jolly and Ian's here. You remember Ian from Delaney Hall. Ian Austin. Who else? There's a lot of people. Demi. Veterans Against Fascism over in front. The sponsor in Chicago. Lucy's in the National Guard. She left the National Guard to protest the federal invasion. So we'll try to get some more interviews. Again, special by share this live stream. If you are not yet a member of Status Group, stay on the ground as long as possible with your support. So if you can, sign up as a member. Statusgroup.com/join. There's always $5 a month. Also, subscribe to our channel. If you are from Midas, if you are watching from Midas, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Also, if you can become a member, sign up and of what is happening on the ground. Once again, there's I think I saw one mainstream but again, we have hundreds of our veterans who served this country out here in Philadelphia protesting, and yet networks are not here to cover this.
And when we talk about ending wars at home and abroad, we talk about ending wars at home and abroad. That means protecting our young ones. Protecting our young ones, our young freedom fighters all over the world, but also protecting our youth here in America. We are tricked, we are pressured in an economy that cannot support them, in communities that are being dissolved by capitalist violence. We feel like they have no other way to move forward in the world, except to take up arms against their brothers across the ocean, and we know better. When we fight to end our wars, we are saying we want to protect our loved ones at home and abroad, everywhere. Because when life is precious, life is precious. We need to get truth straight to the heart of the matter. For us to fight for what we needed to build a nation truly deserving celebration, we have to go to the dead heart of the thing that is trying to kill us and choose life instead. To choose our indigenous siblings, to choose our undocumented communities, to choose our workers, to choose our children, to choose our elders, to choose one another, and to do that transnationally. Y'all agree for that?
Okay, who else is here? We got Day One Movement. Woo! We got DSA, YDSA. Woo! Movement for Black Lives. NBA Collective. Because we need reparations. And we need land back. Because it's our relationship with the land that is going to cool everything down. It's our relationship with the land that teaches us how to treat each other right. And when land back means learning from the original stewards of this land. We're talking about 250 years. Talk about 200,000 years. Who's the immigrants, right? And who's the rightful stewards of this land? Then we talk about reparations. How come we can let the J6ers out? How come we can give them good paying jobs kidnapping children? How come we can't give black people good paying jobs in schools? Taking care of our communities and rec centers and libraries. We can, and we will. And that is what you gotta hold in your mind. The grand strategy, the new America, 250 years, is reparations and land back. And I want you to imagine, you gotta imagine if we're gonna make it real, your life, when black people are right next to you everywhere. Black people are right next to you in dignified jobs. Where indigenous people are right next to you. And you're learning from them. They're kind of above you a little bit. If I'm being honest, right? If we're learning and we're giving respect. All right, give it up. Woo!
We're getting our water to wagons. We're getting ready to move.
I mean, I noticed like a lot of these MAGA cult members, they always keep saying like Democrats this, Democrats that. And it's like, I don't know, I think at the end of the day, it's like, for like, just to be two parties, like, you know, Republicans and Democrats, to put like over 300 million people into like just two sections for people to choose from. It's like everyone's got different views, everyone's got different what. I think it's more of like good versus evil, you know, like these people right here, they all just have a good heart, you know, they want everybody to just be happy, you know.
And here is how Spiral Q is in the building, Rick Loud is in the building, making this beautiful art for us. We all want to offer a little bit of music. Hey, I don't know if y'all have seen what the hell is happening at the Great American Fair or whatever that shit is. Our cousin has no one coming to this shit, and also he's just killing baby ducklings. It's bad. It's bad. But y'all are making this look really good. I just want to let y'all know. Everybody turn to the person next to you and say, you're doing a great job. I say this every time, but I mean it because you're here. And then turn to the person next to you and say, I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. Whatever it takes today, for some of you, this may be the first time that you're out in the streets. And you know, this is a beautiful action. This is a soft and nurturing action. We gotta practice doing this while it's easy because it's about to get hard. Okay? And so I need you to build your courage now. I need you to build your relationships now. I need you to build the fire and the energy and the heat. Not like climate change heat. You know what I mean? Contrast. I mean, the heat in your heart. The
in about, I don't know, in about like 4 months, Gavin Newsom will be personally slapping the handcuffs on Donald Trump.
We're gonna do that gently and lovingly. Make some noise.
All right, guys. They're about to begin the march. So I'm gonna move up here to get a shot of everybody coming out. There are some Philadelphia police around. Like,
All right, it looks like they're starting to march. I think there's a lot of people there.
So Independence Hall is right across the street. There is a long line of people waiting to get in. They do tours. Yeah, so I'm guessing they're gonna be marching around, and there's a lot of people here today. You know, celebrations and stuff. So after yesterday's live stream in Washington, D.C., we actually did go over to the Great American State Fair, I believe it was called. It was really terrible. I think there's more people here in the park. There's more people out.
That's crazy. There's more protesters than there's people at the state fair or at Donald Trump's fair.
This protest than there were, at the state fair when I was there yesterday.
Hey, what's up, WTF over?
But yeah, it's another hot day. With the humidity, the feel is about 100 degrees. Yesterday in Washington, D.C. was the hottest day. The feel was 113 degrees. There were reports that 7 people, well, actually, I want to say there were probably about 20 people that went to the hospital because of the heat. Yeah, because of the heat, and 7 of them were reportedly on like a life support. Yeah, there was a. So I don't know if anybody died yesterday. It's Philadelphia police has their own camera crew. So it looks like activists are trying to direct traffic, and police are coming over. So it looks like police are trying to manage the traffic, and then they have the activists that are also gonna manage the traffic.
Here they come. Here comes the march. Yeah, that's that's a big march. I can't wait to see it. So the cameraman's getting ahead of it right now. Oh, that's a good vantage point to get it. He's going to high ground. All right, here comes the march, guys. And there's more people marching than there's at Donald Trump's fair. Hey, what's up, Chris Hansen? What's up? What's up, Katie's little boy? How's it going? Here comes the protest. Here comes the march. Way more people than Trump's fair. Oh yeah, the MAGA cult bots are out in full force these days because Elon Musk and Donald Trump, you know, they're gonna lose the midterm, so they're doing whatever they can to save their dead movement. The MAGA movement's dead, guys. It's over.
People united will never be defeated.
That's a Tifa robot. Robot was joining in on the protest. So I just see a lot of these people are coming from the line here at Independence Hall.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Say, blue streets. Blue streets. communities are currently actively occupied. U.S. policing looks a lot like U.S. imperialist violence all over the world, right? And so when we talk about liberation, we mean down with occupation, both here in Philadelphia, on Turtle Island, and all around the world. Yes, make some noise. So we're going to bring it up in the encampments. When I say up with liberation, you say down with occupation. That's right, you say down with occupation. Are we ready for that? We say up with liberation. Up with liberation.
Hey, what's up? What's up, WTF? What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? What's up, Eric Klein? How's it going? What's up, Amber Leslie? What up, everyone? Yeah, watching this protest rally slash march that happened earlier today in Philadelphia. So it's veterans against Trump's fascism.
So I'm not sure where the march is going to go. It's not out, Why was it important to be here today? 100-degree weather. Why was it important to be here in Philadelphia? And you're a veteran.
And I served in 100-degree weather in the desert. Listen, my family served this country since 1775. Men in my family made weapons for the Americans to fight the British colonizers. What's going on today is so wrong. And I remember my oath. My oath had no expiration date. And my oath is to protect all these people you see out here today, not to protect the oligarchy, not to protect all that corruption.
So soldiers are taught to sacrifice this president so what does that say about this?
Well, my 18-year-old son, again, my family served since 1775. He wants to serve, but he won't serve under a fascist president like Trump because he sees what's wrong. And so that's what it means. People are seeing. People are waking up.
When you serve, do you ever think you see mass paramilitary troops and rounding people off in the streets?
No, I was terrified when I first saw that he was turning National Guard loose on us. Over a year ago, when Trump came back in office the second time, I warned some friends of mine there were going to be concentration camps. There were going to be police shooting Americans in the street, and they called me hysterical. They called to apologize to me, all right, because I knew it was going to happen. This is what happens when you elect an unaccountable oligarch. He's thoroughly corrupted Congress, so they're not going to hold him accountable. SCOTUS is corrupted, so they're not going to hold him accountable. It's up to us to do it.
And that's what I'm going to ask you. A lot of people are saying, oh, we'll just vote him out.
So vote harder has never worked. Vote harder has never worked because Americans are stupid. What happens is they elect a conservative government, we go to war, they get tired of the way things are, they vote in Democrats. Democrats don't fix it fast enough, so then they vote in Republicans again. We need true third parties. We need parties like PSL and the DSA. We need ranked choice voting. Right? That's how we get out of this mess. Going back and forth between two extremes, it's not going to matter.
Well, let's say, what would your message be to the National Guard, to these ICE agents who are creating war zones on the streets? What would your message be to them following these orders?
Well, to ICE, fuck you, ICE. Seriously, fuck you from the bottom of my heart. You're unaccountable, Gestapo pigs, and I hate all of you. To the military, you took an oath, and you had training and basic training. I know you did because I did. I want a legal order. Stop following the legal orders. You should not be bombing fishing boats in Venezuela. You sure should not be bombing Iranians.
I look forward to yourself, your name and something.
Yeah, I'm James Elmore.
James, nice to meet you, James.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for taking time. Take care. Hi guys, so James is just one of the hundreds of veterans out here today. So we will try to get to more interviews. And like I said, there are speakers. There will be speakers up.
Yeah, because I'm a veteran.
He's handing out some stickers. All right, we'll just keep moving. I'll get some more of these after. I don't know what building this is.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
This guy in the chat named Mike Niners for Life or something like that. He's like, I'm voting red all the way down. The only thing that's going down is an orange turd down your mouth, dude. Blue wave tsunami, baby, let's go. We're taking back the House and the Senate. Gonna go clean up all those red states, bring back some law and order, give all the MAGA cult members 40 hours of community service, or send them back to Jonestown if they don't comply.
This is what we're fighting for! No more fascists, no more war! This is what we're fighting for! No more fascists, no more war! This is what we're fighting for!
Yes, my spouse is out there. Yes, he's been out there before the war started. He's stuck out there on not even a military base. It's just an equipment, really, and the worst conditions that you can think possible. We're waiting for him to come back. It's been extended one time already. He was supposed to be home, and we're just waiting for him to come home. That's why we're here to speak out. He can't, he won't, but we're here to speak up. We're here to say no more wars.
There's a worldwide feel in this country too, with mass paramilitary ICE agents on the street. We have National Guard soldiers crawling.
Hey, what's up, madam? Happy 4th of July. Good to see you.
I feel disgusted by our country. I can't even, how can you celebrate the 250th anniversary of this country when we are at war they are attacking us. They are attacking our Americans. They are attacking everybody, not just one nationality, one race. They're attacking everybody. You can't celebrate the 250th anniversary without looking around and seeing what's going on. Open your eyes. This is not a celebration.
A lot of people say we should wait till November and roll out water. I got 2 waters.
I think it's bullshit. I think
World War I and World War II veterans would clown on Trump.
the president has a different agenda, and we all know it. This whole entire war of getting rid of everybody is just a way of shutting them down, quieting them down for elections. That is my belief. Sorry. Of course not. He did not sign up for this. He signed up to defend our Constitution. This is not what he signed up for. You should to bomb a country that we weren't when we weren't under attack. To destroy. Sorry. Are you talking to me? Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. This is not what he signed up for. None of our military men and women signed up for this. I mean, look at the other day. Our what's his name? Jason. Come on, wake up, America. He is in active duty, and he stood in front of the Capitol and said, "No more. I'm not standing for this." No military personnel is pro what's going on right now. Nobody. And that's why we're here to speak up for them. They're not here, unfortunately, to say, "I'm not doing this, I'm not standing behind this," but they all feel the same way. You're very ignorant if you don't see what's going on. Wake up and smell the coffee. This is not America anymore. This is not our country. This is not what our military men and women signed up for. This is not defending our Constitution. We were not under attack.
Hey, what's up, Travis? Happy 4th of July.
What?
Hey, what's up, Aroha G? How's it going? What's up, everyone? What's up, Eric Klein? What's up, Chris Hansen? Hey, what's up, Cheeseburger Fresh? Good to see you. What's up, everyone? Happy 4th of July out there.
For Trump, you're a disgrace of a president, and you will go down in the history of the worst presidents ever. To the administration backing him up, bring our military men and women back home. They have they have nothing to do out there. Bring them back home. Bring them back home now. Thank you. Jessica Serrato and I'm with Military Family Speak Out. Thank you.
Alright, guys.
You know what? Let me take one if I see his head again.
I think they're taking like a water break right now. Yeah, there's definitely more people at this march, rally, protest than there are at Trump's fair. That says a lot. If Kamala had a fair, everyone would be there living happily ever after. You know, everyone would just be around a bonfire, you know, or a splash pad singing Kumbaya.
All right, so I don't think they're going to be speaking here. I'm not sure what's happening here.
I guess that's our opportunity to listen to some music.
All right, guys. Smash the like button, share this live stream again, and sign up as a member. Statusquo.com/join. We are out here in 100-degree weather, providing this coverage for you because nobody else is doing it. Wanted to come here to Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, this dude right here.
Yeah, I mean,
He was at the Delaney Hall protest and he got shot up by all kinds of like tear gas canisters and rubber bullets.
From the area, just on the border of Philadelphia. All the 250 actions here. So yeah, I mean, lots of things happening down in DC, but I think the veterans groups wanted to sort of make a statement by being here. I think it is significant that we're in Philadelphia, Declaration of Independence, right? But at the same time, it's like this. What we're here for is to say this should be happening everywhere. That we should all be resisting right now and standing up and saying this is not okay. We're not about fascism, right? Or we're not supposed to be. You guys have seen me out at Delaney Hall, and it's like I'm talking to ICE agents out there, and they're like making fun of us, like, "Oh, where's your Antifa shirt?" And it's like, how is this happening? Where somehow Antifa, right, which means to be anti-fascist, is a problem. It's I don't even see how we get there. So I think so many of us are out here today, trying to just continue waking people up. There is a bit of like sort of hero worship, I guess, that goes on with the military. And a lot of people from the military and veterans feel like, well, like I'll be the only one, if I'm speaking out. And, so I think that's another reason so many people are here. It's to make other people comfortable, to let other people know, to let other veterans know that, hey, we're not all about this. And I think that can give some freedom also to some civilians that might have a bit of that like military hero worship sort of situation. But if more and more veterans and active duty members are speaking out, I think that says a lot. These are the people, right, that are supposed to, that are willing to die, right, that are willing to put their lives on the line. And if we're going, hey, the things that you guys described that you were sending us to war for, that's what we're resisting here. And it doesn't seem that complicated. So we're out here with as many people as we've got. It seems like there's over 1,000 people, but there should be so many more. It's what I say at Delaney Hall every day. It's like, where is everyone? So we're just continuing to raise our voices.
I want to say, I think this is the largest gathering of veterans that I've ever seen.
Yeah. I've never been a part of a bigger one.
Yeah,
before.
This is definitely the most veterans I've seen in one place.
Yeah.
It's incredible, and a lot of people, look up to veterans and people who serve.
So we say.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about, we'll just vote out the bad politicians in November, but I think a lot should have changed before that, and are Democrats any better?
Yeah, right. No, they're not. If we're voting in establishment Democrats, we're just delaying the inevitable. That's a lot of what this action is about, is bringing people together, getting people more prepared to take action. A lot of people here, this is some of their first actions in terms of resisting, and we need the American people to realize that if we're not going to come together as communities, as cities, as states, as a nation, to hold on to what we we're intended to be in the words of the Constitution, right? I think we are what we've always been designed to be. We weren't necessarily designed to be what the idyllic words of the Constitution said. So I don't want to say like we're like in some ways this is something new because we've had the decorum at least, or the illusion that everything is stable and everything is fine, and that illusion has been ripped away from us. But still, it's like Americans are have been shocked or something, and are not ready to act. And we're out here to just keep raising our voices and say, it's time to act, it's time to act, it's time to act.
Yeah, I don't think people are feeling the fire as much. Like you really need masses to really be able to make it really.
And that's what it's like. People are waiting for the election, and we're trying to get people to understand that. I mean, it might be too late, but what are we just gonna give up? Like it seems like the American people are sort of passively accepting fascism, and we're here saying, hey, we were willing to fucking die for this shit. Like we still fucking believe in it, and it's so fucking offensive, like to all of us out here, what this regime is doing, because we put our lives on the line to defend this shit, and what they're doing is the opposite of what they said we were defending. So, it's emotional too. It's hard, Just this week, I was down in D.C. We had Major Watson, the first ever active duty member, to come out and call for impeachment of a sitting U.S. president, and that's inspiring. That's emotional. That's the sacrifice, right? I mean, he's sacrificing his career, his pension, all of that. People are afraid to speak out. Like, they're going to take our resources? But guys, it's all of us. If you haven't been affected by what's happening yet, the key word there is yet. You will be. So if you're insulated from the issues up to this point, it's coming. It's coming. Whether it's AI or whatever it is that starts to affect you, we are all losing our rights right now. I've been at Delaney Hall so much. We talk about immigration, but immigration is just a pretext. They're taking all of our rights. So if you're white and you're not worried about that, well, you're losing your rights too. If you're not worried about the fact that the First Amendment is being attacked over and over and over again, I mean, I have multiple cases myself, involving the First Amendment. So my message is, I mean, I sure hope people aren't out there celebrating today, but if people don't begin to realize that we're sort of on that point,
What's up, Sizzle Moon? Happy 4th of July.
Be going downhill, and if we're not ready right now to take action. So that's what this is about, is trying to make people aware that, hey, we have to come together as our communities. That's the only way we resist this, is by coming together. We become so siloed, so separated, and that's what resistance is. That's what it looks like. That's the only way it works, is we the people, right? And the significance of that is that we're losing, right? The government by the people, for the people. It's not currently by the people or for the people, and that's what we need to take back. But, sorry for my 5-minute answer.
Mention something. Shit. What did you say? I had something in my mind.
No justice. Let me hear you, no justice. Say no justice.
Hi guys, Ian Rustin. I did have something I wanted to ask you over what he said before, but I forgot. Again, it's really hot out today. Over in these.
Guys, you're not gonna hear these voices.
On even streets.
You're not gonna hear
We kept our money at home.
James and
If we kept our money in our
Rick and
communities, we wouldn't have to be telling you to watch out for
Ian.
yourself and your neighbor.
you're not gonna see them,
You just get able to watch
their voices on
But this is
CNN,
Philadelphia.
Fox,
So you know what's
on
gonna
Main
happen?
Street Networks,
We
the
showed
local
them
networks.
$15 million on a 4th of July party that nobody can pay.
We'll give them the info. We'll hear what they have to say because we know it's important. It's important for you to hear it too. So that's why we are consistently
If we can't
out
spend the
here.
money to get working HVAC in the 4 libraries that are currently centers in Philadelphia during the hottest days of the year, we've got a problem.
So again,
And so all that needs to happen is
sign up as a
to take
member.
that money that belongs to the
Keep us on the ground covering these important stories. Statuscrew.com/join. Super chats are also appreciated. Leave a super chat. So like get some.
Billionaire, name on buildings everywhere. On his face you'll see the glower that betrays his lust for power. Seemed to have a bit portentous when he hosted The Apprentice. Had to pay some legal fees for selling his drunken degrees. Overall conspiracist, where's the birth certificate? Sent detectives on a mission for his fishing expedition. Saying everywhere he went that he would run for president. Experience not his concern, he did not know or care to learn. We didn't stop the fire, we don't want you drama, we just blame Obama. We didn't stop the fire, anti-immigration, wave across the nation. Treated it just like a game, called opponents childish names. Thought that he was being clever, Megan's bleeding from wherever. Spent the campaign grinding axes, yet would not reveal his taxes. Nearly something there to hide, WikiLeaks was on his side. Interference from the foreigners, Vladimir Putin's in his corner. Never mind the protocol, block the Muslims, build a wall. Heard the rumors, wasn't me, blamed it all on Hillary. Find a doggy shirt and wagon, so let's back up for the maggots. We didn't start a fire. Didn't want the females, something emails. This isn't dumpster fire. Even Gary Johnson seemed to say an eruption. There he goes and making sessions like this with the foul Russian bicycles and Conway, leading us the wrong way. Crowd at the inauguration was the source of consternation. Pirate and Tarzan and Harlem's getting except we didn't want them. Over to the HCA, replacing it's just not their way. The bosses on the ship of fools to decimate the public schools. Keeping funding slashed in ribbons, mobilize the march of women. Angry message from Quesada, making go a big for nada. Travel down the Sudan, Yemen, Libya, and Iran. Listen, franchise the civilians, protesters were in the millions. Wall to wall hypocrisy, real like idiocracy. Now we talking martial law, and will we reach the final straw? We didn't start the fire. Who's undiscerning, now the world is burning. We didn't start the fire, no we did.
Secrets in the shadows, names on the plane. Files went missing, who's to blame? Eyes on our logo, hush in the air. Somebody scared.
It's funny how, because Donald Trump was saying communist. If anyone's a communist, it's the orange turd. He's the one that rolled out the red carpet for Putin. So all these MAGA cult members are just nothing but commie lovers over there. MAGA meat riders, MAGA mush brains. So you can't, that's like the oldest, cheapest trick in the book, the whole communism bullshit, the whole Red Scare shit from the 50s. We ain't falling for the banana, just like Beverly Hills Cop, Axel. He's like, I ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. As a matter of fact, all these MAGA cult members need to be tried for un-American activities. But Jamie Raskin's collecting a database of all the un-American MAGA cult members, so that way can reform you guys, put you guys to work, 40 hours of community service.
I got a red house and a red car, runs on big red battery. Used to be blue 15 minutes ago, but they turned red just for me. I got me a red horse and I ride it. I got some blue friends, they're the best. Used to ride around the world on a big jet plane they call the Lolita Express. I got a red tie and it's 10 miles long and it matches my red hat. Got me a red bird and a red fish, a red dog and a red cat. I got me a red hat and a U-tip. I got a big red chainsaw too. My red face lights now white power. Races on through weird salutes. When the war gets here, we're all gonna hold hands. All the Baptists and the Catholics, all the Marxists and the fascists. When the war gets here, we're gonna get on the level. Everyone will look a little bit nicer when you finally meet the devil. I had a red dog on a red day looking for a thank you dressed in blue. If you want to win the war, my friend, you know you better wear a suit. I got me a red bulldog, technocratic, bootstrap tugging buddy. He wrote an elegy for a people he don't know, and it ain't funny. There's a deep swamp and I'll drain it. My people are in danger. Who would have ever thought the deep state were the National Park Rangers? I got some red pills in a bottle. I got black and blue ones too. All the pills are all the same. The illusion is you choose. When the war gets here, we're all gonna hold hands. All the cowboys and the hippies put away their strange misgivings. When the war gets here, we're gonna get on the level. Everyone will look a little bit nicer when you finally meet the devil. King's got friend and foe, and every nation knows his wrath. When he's dead, 15 years, we'll be here and they'll be back. When we're all hung out to dry, I said you take my back. No matter if you're
National Constitution Summit.
Where you belong. We don't want you here. Soviet Union, go back to the Soviet Union. Communism. Communism died. It has failed everywhere it's been tried. Communism has failed everywhere it's been tried. Democracy. Yeah. Prosperity. You're doing good. I can see that.
Don't touch it.
If you were in a communist country, you wouldn't have that gut.
What the fuck? Was that a MAGA troll?
We got people hungry here. You're doing to help your fellow man. What do you think I'm doing? Look at that gun you got. You're overeating. You're eating other people. What do you think I'm doing? Country, you would not have that. You would be shot for having that. Because you're taking more than your share. Yeah, laugh.
That's fucking hilarious. The guy was like, "Oh, you're fat. If you're in another country, you'd get shot. You're taking more than your fair share." Oh my goodness, you can't make this shit up.
It is quite a lot.
Yeah, that's all the MAGA cult members can do is just, they don't really have many brain cells, you know, they're just MAGA mush brains, so they just resort to like insults. I mean, to be fair, you know, if they were smart, they wouldn't have, you know, they wouldn't be a Trump supporter.
Chales con la migra, corazón no se va a quedar callada. Ay, China la
Get your dancing boots on, MAGA cult members.
migra.
Let's keep it moving.
I'm afraid of the man. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I
How you doing? Hey, where can I find this online so I can tag myself? Hey,
Hundreds of, it's the largest group of veterans I've ever seen together.
Yeah.
Was it's to be here in Philadelphia.
In the shadow of Major Jason Watson, calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump in uniform at the steps of the Capitol, having hundreds of veterans here saying the same thing, standing in solidarity that we can be better as a nation. We just have to want it. It's the most fucking American thing I can ever think of.
Everybody's saying, let's just wait till November.
Yeah.
Vote them out. We'll get the Democrats in and everything will be fine.
No. Vote blue no matter who is what got us here. That's what got us here. We need to vote smart. Vote smart. Vote in people that aren't taking corporate PAC money. Vote in people that are not standing with or supporting APAC. Vote for people that are not wanting to expand FISA. Vote for people that are...
Don't forget to say, don't vote for any maggot meat-riding politicians, any Trump loyalists. Vote them all out. Vote all those MAGA meat-riders out. But take an oath to the Orange Man and not the Constitution.
I'm going to continue to throw billions of dollars at ICE. Throw people into Congress that are going to stand up for workers, stand up for the downtrodden, stand up for our marginalized communities, and fight for the rights of every fucking American, no matter where you come from or what you believe.
Hey, what up? What up, Aloha Kitty? Happy 4th of July.
Did you hear Caroline Levitt say, like the country was built on prisons, police, and private...
Yeah, she's an idiot. Yeah, she's an idiot. Said to her little fucking... She's dumb. Her photo up on that new Bride Force One in front of that fake library proves how dumb she is. This country was built on the backs of enslaved people by rich white men that didn't want to do fucking anything for themselves. This country has never been equality for all, but it fucking could be. We just have to want it.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Gotcha, brother.
Yeah, all right, that's Matt Gordon, I believe his name is. He was also with Rick, Jolly, and the other vets that I interviewed at the Flare tent a couple of months ago, way back in DC. That is, I believe that was in June of 25. June of 2025, when the federal invasion started in DC, when they had the National Guard on the streets, all the ICE and DHS and HSI, all the feds were out on the street. They still are. But that's when it got started, and that's when I got to meet Jolly, Rick, and Matt. Some really great guys. Sorry, this guy gets me back. I gotta take some water. Hold on, let's do some under the shade.
It is right to rebel.
Billionaires go to hell.
Billionaires go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Billionaires go to hell.
Billionaires go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Say billionaires go to hell.
Billionaires go to hell. Our streets. Our streets.
Yeah, blue streets.
Our streets.
Yeah, blue streets.
Our streets.
Blue streets.
Our
We
streets.
say blue streets.
Our streets.
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 Say it is right to rebel.
It is right to
We
rebel.
say billionaires go to hell.
Billionaires go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Billionaires go to hell.
Billionaires go to hell.
Make some noise, y'all. Y'all, everybody turn to the person next to you and do a little bit of a check-in. Say how you feeling. Is everybody drinking water? Is everybody taking care? I know that it's hot. I know. You're doing an amazing job. We'll be right with you.
I think some speakers are about to pull up. Hey, what up, everyone out there? Happy 4th of July. Hope you're all doing well. Staying cool, hydrated, safe. Appreciate everyone that's here sharing your opinions. As the old saying goes, opinions are like a-holes. Everyone's got one.
There's right behind you, right there. I guess, so the building behind them is Independence Hall.
I actually got to go to work soon in like about, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. I got to go to work. But checking out this protest and hanging out before I do. All right, so we're just waiting for like the speakers to pull up. In the meantime, I'm just gonna play some music.
Back up a little bit, y'all. Back up, please. Back up a little bit.
How are we feeling? I know you can be louder than that. I said, how are we feeling? That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for being here today, everybody. My name is Rebecca Roberts. I'm with the
This is funded by the hearts of the true patriotic American people to fight for what is right.
Veterans Against the War. We are one of the member organizations of Veterans Against Fascism, a coalition of 8 organizations that's representing thousands of veterans, active military, and military family members. I myself am a veteran. I spent 12 years in the New Jersey National Guard before I resigned my commission in protest of U.S. foreign policy. I'm a proud member of About Face Veterans Against the War, a community of post 9/11 veterans taking action to end U.S. warfare at home and abroad. So today, as we can see, some people are out here celebrating the 250th anniversary of freedom in this country. Meanwhile, our neighbors are being kidnapped off of the streets, put into concentration camps. VA, Medicaid, SNAP, vital services, vital care services that people depend on are being cut to instead fund U.S. war crimes abroad in our name. And troops are occupying our own streets in D.C., in Memphis, in L.A., in New Orleans, and that is not okay. So we're not here to celebrate, are we? We're in the birthplace of this country today, where 50 years ago, veterans and military family members gathered here in Philadelphia, the city that this country was born in, to call for jobs in a country that actually cared for them. And here we are 50 years later, doing the same shit again. We're here despite our differences because we know that this moment needs all of us. It requires every single one of us. And as veterans against fascism, we reject fascism. We reject this administration's fascist vision for this country's future. And we're here because defending our nation means speaking out and means showing up for our country, showing up for our community. They want us to believe that the enemy is the wounded child with no surviving family in Gaza, or the families just trying to get by in Havana and Caracas. But those are not our enemies. We know that the greatest enemy is sitting in the White House. It's the suits and ties sitting in Congress, signing bills into law to refuse free lunch for our children in school, to drop bombs on communities overseas, and to send us to die in their wars. And now, we've seen firsthand that we have far more in common with the people around the world, the working families around the world, than we ever will with Trump or any of his billionaire friends profiting off of our suffering. And with the troops in our streets, Trump has also threatened to deploy National Guard to polling stations this fall. We say fuck that.
Hey, if anyone's curious about this channel that we're watching, I put a link in the chat. So if you guys want to subscribe to Status Coop News, they come through with the real news.
Military members have no place in our elections, intimidating voters, and taking away our democracy. That's not what we signed up for, is it? No! And now, with that, we want to ask those who are in the military, those who are still serving, a question. What will you do when you are asked to follow an illegal or an immoral order? We ask, will you have the courage to stand up for the people? The truth is that this administration needs you. This administration needs the military to be its foot soldiers, do its dirty work, to carry out its fascist vision for our future. The truth is, without you, they can't make that happen. Their fascist vision for the future can't become reality if the military resists. Because you know what? Military resistance is one of the only proven guardrails against fascism. We hold the power, the people hold the power, and we as veterans and military family members have an important role to play. We cannot continue the next 250 as we have the last. Whatever, medic, we need a medic over here. All right. So we cannot continue the last 250 years as the next 250 years as the last 250 have gone. And today, I'm asking anyone who feels the weight of this moment to join us. So now we are going to hear some of our friends with our other organizations, veterans, active military, and military families. So first I'm going to pass it off to Michael McPherson, Executive Director of Veterans for Peace and Gulf War Veteran.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Hey, what's up, Ian? That's funny. Actually, yeah, you're right. He's not only a traitor to this country, the Orange Man's also a traitor to humanity, for sure.
That was awesome. So, 250 years ago today, here in Philadelphia, a declaration was made that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal and endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights. That's a damn right thing. On this anniversary, hundreds of veterans and military families have come to sound an alarm for democracy. As our national leaders ignore these basic truths, trample our rights, and treat us as their subjects and as pawns of the billionaire class rather than as equals, self-governing equals. We who wore this nation's uniforms and military families who have suffered and sacrificed.
Hey, what's up, CB33? Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. The communist MAGA cult members, yeah, they suck real bad.
Support their loved ones. Have a duty to sound
the MAGA communist fascist
alarm against rising fascism. We are sounding the alarm about a private army known as ICE that disappears our neighbors and terrorizes our communities. We are sounding the alarm because the Trump regime, not an administration, but a regime, is sending military personnel into our neighborhoods, as the British did, to suppress dissent, and threatening to send military and ICE to our ballot boxes in November, an action that is terrifying and destroys democracy. We are sounding the alarm to stop endless wars that have killed our comrades, left physical and mental scars on many of us, murdered civilians around the world, committed war crimes, and supports genocide. We say no to that. These wars steal resources from our communities that should be used to support them. Yes. We call on service members to remember their duty to refuse legal orders. We call on the public to honor our service, not with thank yous, but by organizing and acting to protect our elections and stop fascism and the hate mongers who seek to divide and rule us. We're tired of thank yous. We're tired of thank you for our service. We want you to take action. Finally, we are here to build a nation that will leave no one behind. And we know that it will take all of us, because the power of the people will make it happen. The power of the people won't stop.
Next, we're going to hear from Pam White with Center on Conscience and War.
How we feeling out there, Philadelphia? Good morning. My name is Cam, and I'm out here today, and I'm feeling good because I know that I am joined by many active duty service members from the Army, from the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, marching against the endless wars and fighting back against injustice. There are more active duty troops at this protest than there have been in generations, and that is because people in uniform are waking up. And I'm speaking right now to people currently serving in the military, the active duty, the reservists, the National Guard. I talk to
that the U.S. military is a violent and destabilizing force on the rest of the world. It's becoming obvious that the U.S. military is a violent and destabilizing force on people here in this country. And the system which we are living under and the reality which it creates for its maintenance requires a perpetual state of war, both abroad and at home, and we are here to reject that. Meanwhile, today, more and more people are joining the military just so they can get access to basic resources as the only way available to avoid the basic necessities of healthcare, housing, childcare, and education that our system withholds from us. And we are out here today because we are demanding an end to the endless wars, demanding that the trillions of dollars being spent to fund the destruction of the world be spent on programs that millions of people rely on here at home, like SNAP and Medicaid. A country that always has money to fund a new war can damn sure take care of the communities here at home and make it run. And so, just as many Americans have lost loved ones sent needlessly to fight in these endless foreign wars in the past 20 years, countless service members have also lost brothers and sisters in arms. And it's time that we realize that honoring the fallen means resisting the system that sent those men and women to their death. Service members do not take an oath to the Constitution. They do not take an oath to the president or the government. They take an oath to the Constitution. And service members have a right to refuse orders which are a violation of the Constitution. A duty to disobey unlawful orders. Not only this, but just like those fearless anti-war movement leaders who refused to kill in Vietnam and refused to participate in a genocidal war and brought the gears of the war machine to a grinding halt in that war. And just like the brave Iraq war veterans who stepped in and joined the Iraq war movement, soldiers and active duty service members are joining this fight and they are getting involved in the anti-war movement. DOD Instruction 1344.10 is the regulation that covers political activities by members of the armed force. And bar none, just like any other American, you, the service members, have a right to speak out when out of uniform. But beyond that, service members have an absolutely critical role to play in this moment. The only hope of a barrier within the system itself comes from the ranks of the military. And it's moments like these that service members can and must take a stand. Many of us, veterans, young and old, reservists, guardsmen, active duty, personnel of all ranks are already in this movement, even in the protests that we've all been a part of, like the one happening today. I said I was here with many active duty service members today, but for every one of them here, there are 100 who wish they were. For everyone here, there are 1,000 who agree. We can come together to make a better future, and you can be a part of it too. If you are ready to resist, there are resources here to help you do it. Join the fight, fight for a better world, and refuse fascism.
Here from Maxine.
My name is Maxine Velez. I was in the Navy from 2002 to 2008 during the War on Terror. I'm from Laredo, Texas, border town with only one source of water, the Rio Grande. I'm part of the No Border Wall Coalition and the Frontera Federation, two groups that have been working to protect the river and riverfront communities from the threat of border wall and the river buoy death traps, which not only threaten our natural ecosystem, but also the lives and safety of river.
Actually, MAGA was started by Jeffrey Epstein. So technically, all the MAGA cult members out there, Jeffrey Epstein's your real daddy. Orange Man's your stepdad.
Riverfront communities. The border wall will forever alter the flow of our river in ways that experts have said, considering extremely dangerous. The wall will increase the intensity of the river to flooding, and if at any point it reaches, which it has before, it will be catastrophic, endangering the lives of thousands of people. We're talking about Katrina level flooding. I recently had the privilege to show up for our community, my friend Asa, and I was defending the land that owns our only source of water as well as a bird sanctuary. Federal contractors were breaking the law, claiming that they own the land, but we stood in their way, and together with our lawyers, we showed them but their claims were false. The bulldozers were coming also false pretenses. The admin will do anything to bulldoze our rights, even after arrest and so sad because our moral obligation to do so. I don't know about y'all, but I know that my ancestors were on the street. I stand here today not only to make sure that my daughter and son during the Benicio have the rights their grandparents didn't, but for 7 generations coming after me, the ones that I want to leave a thriving life that I picture. Do you feel them? Can y'all picture them? They're counting on us just like the rest of the world. Being someone's ancestor one day carries the responsibility to the future, to leave the world a better place for those coming after us, not billionaires, so preoccupied with lining their pockets that they can't even imagine what the future looks like. The future doesn't belong to billionaires, it doesn't belong to bulldozers, it doesn't belong to fear, it belongs to the children, the communities.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty difficult to understand her.
Because people are dropping, so everybody form up and we're gonna walk back to Washington Square Park and wrap up.
Y'all give it up for our beloved comrades. Betsy against fascism.
Try to see if we can spot him.
Alright guys, we'll just get the show for a bit.
All right, I'm gonna get my step on, guys. It's been stimulating, folks, but I'm out of here. I hope you guys all have a good 4th of July. Be safe out there. Stay cool. Thanks for everyone that voted. Let's see here. Out of 863 votes, a whopping 55% of you say that Donald Trump is a traitor to this country. So that's pretty much how the midterms are gonna go. We're gonna take back the House and the Senate, and then Orange Man's gonna be impeached, removed, and imprisoned. It's gonna be a Gavin Newsom himself that's gonna personally slap the cuffs on Trump. But anyways, you guys all stay safe out there. What's up, Patch? How's it going? All right, peace out, everyone. What's up, Amber Leslie? Happy 4th of July. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I'm gonna go to work, handle some stuff, but I think Trump's doing like a speech later, so maybe we'll check that out, see what's up. All right, peace out.